the Anti NenStar Harmonic Pattern indicator, which is offered for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. From this section, you can download the indicator file for MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms and run it on the chart. Traders can also read this page to learn about how the indicator works and its functionality. From the Navigator section, we select the indicator file, and by dragging the file onto the chart, we run the indicator. By dropping the indicator onto the chart, it starts to detect and draw the NenStar Harmonic Pattern on the price chart. Traders who are looking to identify this pattern on the chart can use the NenStar Harmonic Pattern indicator to detect the pattern, and after the pattern forms in the D zone, which is considered the potential reversal area or PRZ point, they can enter a buy or sell trade in the pot/snow market. In the settings section, under the Input tab, there are options available for us. In the first part, we can set the minimum wavelength of the pattern, which is based on the zigzag indicator in this section. The zigzag indicator has 3 parameters, but here we can only adjust the first parameter, while the other 2 parameters, which are both set to 3, are hard-coded into the calculations. In the next section, we can set the number of candles to check the harmonic conditions in the pattern, which is set to 100 candles by default. For example, in this section, after identifying point D, the indicator moves 100 candles backward, and during these 100 candles searches for the Fibonacci ratio to display point C. Then, from point C, it moves another 100 candles backward to identify point B, then from B to A, and from A to X on the chart, and finally, it draws the pattern. In the next section, we can enable or disable the display of the harmonic pattern lines. In the following section, we can enable or disable the break burst pivot option, which is enabled by default. By enabling this section, the indicator will also identify and consider valid those harmonic patterns that have a pivot break, and then it will display the pattern. For example, in this section, I set this option to false, and below I can specify the distance between the harmonic pattern's pivot and the break pivot, which by default is set to 100 pips here. We can see that here it does not display the patterns for me, and it has only detected and displayed this one pattern on the chart. If I set the value to 1000 pips, we can see that it detects 2 patterns here, with one of the patterns located in this section. Here we can see that the point X of this pattern has been broken in this area, and the price has moved upward and then moved downward again. However, this pattern has been identified now for us. We can select the distance value from the breakout point in this section to the next pivot where the price has moved downward in the settings, and use this as a filter to identify more valid patterns. In the next section, there is the shift option. By default, it is set to the number 2, which means that after a candlestick closes, the indicator waits for 2 more candlesticks to pass, and then it examines those 2 previous candlesticks to identify the harmonic pattern. Here, this candlestick has closed, 2 candlesticks have moved forward, and in this candlestick, it has examined its 2 previous candlesticks, meaning this green candlestick lead, and has identified the pattern. If I set this option to 0, as soon as the D-point candlestick closes, the indicator starts to detect and analyze the harmonic pattern. And ultimately, if a harmonic pattern is formed, it will display it. In the next section, we can enable or disable the display of bullish and bearish harmonic patterns. We can set the drawing style of the harmonic pattern, with 5 options available here: solid, dash, dot, dash dot, and dash dot dot. In the next section, we can set the thickness of the harmonic pattern lines, which is set to 1 by default. If we set this number higher than 1, the indicator will automatically display the style as solid. In the next section, we can change the color of the bearish harmonic patterns, the color of the bullish harmonic pattern, and finally, the color of the harmonic pattern labels to any color we like. Just make sure to note that in the MetaTrader 5 platform, the first two options are different for us. In the second option, on the MetaTrader 4 platform, it analyzes the conditions based on the candlestick and identifies the harmonic pattern. As we mentioned in this section, it moves 100 candlesticks backward from point D and looks for the Fibonacci ratio for point C. However, on the MetaTrader 5 platform, in this sheet, in this section, it searches for Fibonacci ratios based on pivots. For example, if I enter the number 10 here, the indicator will automatically review 10 pivots backward from point D, and among these 10 pivots, it will look for a Fibonacci ratio to plot point C. The next point you must definitely pay attention to is the values you set in the first and second options. The larger the numbers you enter in these two sections, the larger the harmonic patterns that will be identified, and they will be displayed over longer periods. The smaller the values, the more suitable patterns will be detected and drawn on the chart. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this indicator tutorial. I'd be glad if you share your comments and suggestions with us in the comments section.